Okay, guys, today's lesson is based on, let's say, let me put this one side. It's based on exam papers from stats. Today's paper is from Eastern Cape. It's from 2024 and it's from September. We'll try and do 8 papers, although stats is generally quite easy. We're going to start off with a few questions. What is the mean? As my student said, the mean is the average. So we take all of these numbers, we add them together, and we divide them by the total number. What is the median? The median would be the middle number, or it would be quartile 2. But I prefer just saying the middle. Mode is the number that appears the most. Interquartile range is just quartile 3 minus quartile 1. And a 5-number summaries for the box and whisker. Okay, so the box and whisker is a diagram that looks like that. I'll teach a little bit differently from the teaching videos for this exam papers, but you guys can go and watch the formulas, right? Step 1 for most of these questions is to make sure all of these numbers are in order. And if they are in order, we're good. If they're not, please rearrange them because it's impossible to do interquartile range. It's impossible to do basically anything in stats beside the mean. You can do the mode and you can do the mean if it's not in order, but you're not able to do the median, the interquartile range, the 5-number summary. So make sure it's in order. If we start off with the mean, we can use our calculator if we wanted to, but we can also just straight up add this. So 17 plus 18 plus 19 plus 21. Guys, we're going to add all plus 24 dot dot dot. I'm not going to add this thing plus 85 plus 95, right? So what I did was I added up every single number here. Okay. I added up all of these numbers and they equal to 17 plus 18 plus 19 plus 21 plus 24 plus 26, 28, 31, 35, 39, 40, 42, 42, 45, 51, 55, 70, 85, 95. 783. Now, because it equals to 783, that's fine. Mean technically looks like this, though it's an X with a line. You'll see that in grade 11 and grade 12. But that's the mean. And now I have to go and count how many numbers there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 19 numbers. So that's what the mean is. 783 divided by 19, and the answer is 41.21. Now, guys, the mean is basically just the average. You know your grade average you get in your report with the scores? That's what the mean is. They took the mean of your grade and they put it there as grade average. So if there's 50 of you in the school or 50 of you in the grade, they'll take all your marks, add it together, and divide it by 50, just to see what your grade got. But that's 41.21. Okay, so when we go with the median, we can use my formula, right? The formula Q2, I just want to show you guys what it is. We're going to use Q2, Q1, and Q3, right? For Q2, or for Q1, technically we use 1 over 4 n plus 1. I would prefer you guys learning this. It makes it easier. This is for Q2, 2 over 4 n plus 1. And Q1, 3 over 4 n plus 1. These formulas are not given to you. The schools don't use them too often, but when you have big groups of data, it's better than you sitting and scratching out like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But if you find that easier, that's fine as well. It's whatever works for you. For me, I prefer formulas. I can see it's 39, but Q2 is the middle, right, which is 39. So 1.1.2 equals to 39. It's the middle number, right? But also, if you did not want to count each number individually, you could go and use the formula. Now, if you use the formula, things become a little bit easy because all we have to do is say 2 over 4 into 19 plus 1, which most likely equals to 10. I know I put this is Q3, guys, which equals to 10. Now, this answer, this is position, right? And I know you guys don't like this now, but trust me, if you can learn this in grade 10 one time, grade 11 and 12 is going to go well. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we found out that Q2 is 39. What is the number that appears the most? The number that appears the most in this is 42 because it appears twice. Now, guys, Q1 and Q3 needs to be done as well. Okay, so for me, Q1 and Q3 should be easy. If you're using my formulas, it should be very easy to deal with. Even if you don't use the formula, I'm sure it can be done quite simply as well, by counting, but it's very easy to make mistakes. So let's take Q2 out of the way and let's do Q1 and Q3. Okay, if we're going to start with Q1, Q1 is 1 over 4 into 19 plus 1, which is equal to a quarter of 20, which most likely is equal to 5. Remember, this is not the answer. This is position. This formula is just a shortcut to help you. If we go and count the fifth number, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and most likely Q1 is here. Let's go into the formula again. This is 3 over 4, 19 plus 1. N is just the number, guys. That's here. So we have 19 marks. So this should be 15 if I'm not mistaken. And that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 51. But guys, not everything has to be done the exact way that I do it. There's multiple ways that we can deal with this. And what could have happened as well is you could have went and counted like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, and you could have found Q2 to be in the center. This works for small groups of data, but when it comes to 50 and 60 numbers and stuff, you guys are going to have a bit of a problem. But for now, I won't be too fussy. How do we get Q1 and Q3? So that we know that's Q2. How do we get Q1 and Q3? Now we go in the center here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Ooh, this one's not gonna work out perfectly. There. Okay, it does work out. There. And this is Q1. Right? Guys, again, this scratching out method seems easier. It's not easier when you have to do a ogive curve and stuff later on next year. So it might be a little bit difficult at the start. Just always try and learn what you need to for now. So we got Q1, Q2, and Q3. The last one is to draw. They want a 5 number summaries for the box and whisker. Okay, so for the box and whisker, we're going to go here, right? So let's draw a diagram. I'm going to try my best to draw on the screen. Yeah, that's as good as I can get it. 10, 20, 30, 40. Ooh, never. I'm not going to manage to draw this here. Let's try here. Okay, that's better. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100, guys. I went in tens. You guys go in anything that works for you. But generally, don't try and do ones. It's going to be impossible. For a 5-number summary, there's 5 numbers that's important. The minimum, the maximum, quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3, right? There's something that we left out in the other part. I'll go back and I'll do it now. But quartile 1 is 24. Quartile 2 was 39. Quartile 3 was 51. If I go to my note, my paper, 17 is the minimum, 95 is the maximum. 17 is the minimum, 95 is the maximum. So what would I do? I would go to the minimum value, which is somewhere there, and I would put an asterisk. That's how I drew the box and whisker. The minimum and maximum get an asterisk. Right? We go to quartile 1 is 24. That gets a line. We go to quartile 2 is 39. That gets a line. We go to quartile 3 and that's 51. That gets a line. And now we join the boxes. And once we join the boxes, this is generally done. Now they would ask you, where is the box skewed? You would look at from year to year, and you'd look at from year to year and see which line is longer. For me, most likely the box would be there, going that way. But it's up to you guys to be able to understand the skew part. This is in the theory notes that we did. You and I would learn this, but yeah, skewed that way, positive direction for now. The one question we did leave out is 1.1.4 asked us for the interquartile range, guys. So 1.1.4 is the interquartile range is equal to Q3 minus Q1, which is equal to Q3 is 51 and Q1 is 24. And the answer is 27. And that's all there is to this question. Generally, this took longer than I would answer it, but that's because I'm trying to explain every part. But stats needs to be done at a faster pace, guys. We need to always double check and then come back. Okay. This question generally, sometimes it's not fun, but Eastern Cape generally has it has easier papers, so it's okay. Let's work with it, right? The following table represents a percentage of the monthly income spent on petrol and the car expenses by 50 people. Now, guys, what does this mean? You see, this interval is important. We need to understand as well for later on. See, this means including 12. So it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. It's not including 18 because there's no equal sign. So it's from 12 to 17. Just remember that. Okay. Now, the frequency is 8. That means numbers between 12 and 17 appear 8 times. Numbers between 18, from 18 to 23 appears 20 times. Numbers here, 12 times. This is unknown, and this is 2. What is the midpoint? The midpoint is the middle of the percentage or the interval. How do I calculate the midpoint? Guys, I'm going to use A and B, but just take the first number plus the second number divided by 2. So let's try. 12 plus 18 divided by 2 should give you 15. And that's how they got 15. Now, since we're here already and we have to do A, B, and C, let's go and do B. So to calculate B, all I have to do is take 18 plus 24 divided by 2. That finds the middle of these 2 points. which is 21. Okay. Now let's go and do, okay, midpoint times frequency. Guess this is basically mathslet. What we're going to do is you're going to take midpoint times frequency. So for A, you're going to take 8 times 15 because we're taking the midpoint multiplied by the frequency. 8 times 15 is equal to 120. So that's 120. Year C would be 12 times 27, which is 12 times 27, which is equal to 324. Let's take the next one. Now this one is just working backwards. If we need frequency for D, we can take 264 divided by 33. 264 divided by 33, and that's equal to 8. So frequency is 8. And the last one is 2 times 39, which is 78. So it's 2 multiplied by 39, which is 78. That's all there is to this question. Okay. 1.2.2. Calculate the estimated mean. Now, guys, there's an easy way and there's a difficult way. The best way to do mean when you have, especially intervals, and when you have a lot of numbers, is to add the midpoint times frequency. So if we add this, we get 120 plus 420 plus 324 plus 264 and plus 78. And this is a 1,000. This is 1,206. So the mean is equal to 1,206. And then we have to divide it by the total number of things there are. So they said there's 50 people, but let's go and confirm if there's 50. Because if we add the frequency, we would know if it's 50. So it'll be 8 plus 20 is 28, plus 2 is 30, plus 12 plus 8 is 50. So now we know for a fact that this is 50. And if this is 50, I can divide by 50. And 1206 divided by 50 is 24.12. That's all there is to this question. Calculate the estimated mean. What is the modal class? Guys, the modal class is the class that appears the most. Now, all I have to do is go and look at the frequency. And if I look at the frequency, I see this is the modal class. See this one? This appears the most. So this one appears the most because it has the most frequency. And the modal class would be 18. So PA is greater than or equal to 18, but less than 24. Why? Because it appears 20 times. This is the mode. Now, the last one is the interval containing the median. Now, guys, if you're going to go and sit and count, it does not work. But if you're looking at the median, it's very simple. It's very, very simple because quartile 2 is equal to 2 over 4 into n plus 1. And this is 2 over 4 into 50 plus 1, which equals to 25.5. Now, please remember again, this is not the answer. This is the position. You still have to go and physically count 25.5 terms. Where does 25.5 fall? Let me write it down here. Normally, we would do something called a cumulative frequency, but they didn't do that. So that's fine. Let's start. This is 8. If I add the first term, it's just 8. Done. 8 plus 20 is 28, right? So guys, if we look at it, 25.5 can't fall into 8. Nope. So cumulative frequency is where we would add each thing. This is 40. This is 48. And this is 50, right? Now, cumulative frequency is where, because I'm adding 8, then I'm adding 8 plus 20 equals to 28. 28 plus 12 equals to 40. 40 plus 8 equals to 48, and 48 plus 2 equals to 50. Now, where does 25 fall into? 25 cannot fall into 8. It does not make sense. But 25 can fall into the 28 margin because this is 0 to 28. So in the second part, that's where the median is. So the median is technically where the mode is as well, which is 18 less than or equal to P, which is less than 24. I meant greater than, but yeah, guys. P is greater than or equal to 18 or less than 24. And that's all there is to this question. Okay, the next paper is KZN. It's 2023, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I am. This is KZN 2023. This comes from September. Okay. Now, guys, it says the data at a certain school for the math test out of 50 are given in the form of the box in this diagram. Right? This is the saddest mark that's on the test. It's the lowest mark. That's minimum. This is the maximum. This is the quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. Right? Information is given below. This is kind of sad. But anyway, let's start. Write down the values of A, B, C, and D. So A is the minimum 1. Okay, so let's start with A. A equals to 1. That's easy to deal with. The rest of the stuff that's easy would be what they wanted, A, C, and D. C is quartile 2, which is the median. I know I wrote medium somewhere, but median, 20. And the range is biggest minus smallest. So D, we can deal with D. D is a little bit upper quartile. Oh, there's it, yeah. This is quartile 3. D is 29. Guys, I just want to fill in the rest of the stuff, right? But it's fine. Calculate the value of, so that was, let's go. This is minimum, quartile 2, quartile there, right? Quite simple. I'll show you guys why. Because 3.1.2 states that they want us to determine the value of E. Now, E is the max, guys. E is the max. How do I get the max? It's supposed to be given to me, but I don't have the answer. But I do have the range. And I know that the range is equal to maximum minus minimum. Now, guys, if this is the max, the range is 38, and the max is there, and some child failed dismally with 1 mark, that means the maximum has to be 38 plus 1. This is 38 plus 1, which is 39. And that's the maximum. Now, for those of you that did not understand, they gave me the range, which was 38. So 38 has to be the maximum minus the minimum. 39 minus 1 has to give me 38. But I worked backwards. 38 plus 1 gave me there. And the last one, I would have preferred them to ask you was, what is quartile? What is quartile? What is B? But, oh, wait. Did I read wrong? I did read wrong, guys. So that's even worse than the thing. Oh, E is there. Okay. No, I didn't read wrong. The last one, 3.1.3, is for us to calculate B, which is quartile 1. But it's the exact same thing. They gave us interquartile range, which is equal to Q3 minus Q1. And the interquartile range is 18 in this question. And Q3 was 29 minus 21. And when we solve this, should be quite simple, 18 minus 29. 18 minus 29 is minus 11 equals to minus Q1. Cancel, cancel, and 11 equals to Q1. So this is 11. And that's all there is. This was generally an easy question. But it says learners said that the test was difficult. Do you agree with the statement? Yes or no? I would say yes. I would say I agree with the statement. I would also say that the highest mark, right? The highest mark of this test was 39. So we could say the highest mark wasn't even an A, was 39 out of 50. And the middle mark was 20 out of 50, like 40%. So generally this test was difficult. But that's all there is to this question. Thoughts? Okay, generally questions like this are quite simple as well. It's not too bad. But let's go with the midpoint. Remember, the midpoint is the first term plus the second term divided by 2. So 10 plus 20 divided by 2 is 15. And then it just continues 25, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, and 65. Again, all I did was took the first term plus the second term divided by 2. 20 plus 30 divided by 2 is 25. What is the modal data? The modal data is the one that appears the most, which is, yeah, this is the most, yeah. Okay, cool. That was quite an easy one. That's the mode. So the mode is T is greater than 60, but less than or equal to 70. And that's all there is to this question. Now complete the midpoints column. We just did that. That one is quite simple. Okay, that one is quite simple. And draw a frequency polygon. Now, guys, a frequency polygon is just a line graph. Okay. There's a lot of marks. I will struggle a bit just to draw this. I am going to struggle to draw this, but that's only because I'm not using a ruler. I'm using my tablet. But let's see if I can get it. Okay, first step is to label. Frequency is there. And this is time in minutes, right? That's 0. Next one is to add the frequencies. So the frequency goes up to 20. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay. Okay. Goes up in 20s. Can I go? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. Only got till 14. I would go in 2s, right? Because it's just 20. But most of the people go up in 5s, and that would be fine as well. Guys, I know my line's not very straight, but just bear with it. Right, my line's very cocky, but just bear with it. That's 20, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, right? Okay. Again, I know the line's not straight. Please always draw the line straight. It's just that I'm drawing on my graphic tablet and it's a bit difficult. This one is time in minutes. Now the time, it's a bit iffy. Time's a bit iffy. Let's go in 5s. Let's go in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So I'll make it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's the middle numbers. That should be fine. Do we need to go further? No, we don't need to go further. And it is generally fine. What we're going to do is we're going to use the midpoints. The midpoints would be the best values to actually add stuff to because it's easy to deal with. There's the midpoints, right? The midpoints are there. This is the midpoint. This is the x. And the y value would be the frequency. The frequencies would be, what's this? 2578. Let's see if I can get it right. That's 2578. And if I'm not mistaken, I think 12, 20, 18, 20. 1820. Okay, cool. 1820. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 15. You can put 5 and this as 0 if you wanted to. I'm going to go to 15. 15 is going to be at 2. 25 is going to be at 5, which is 25 is at 5, which is there. 35 is going to be at 7. 45 is going to be at 8, which is there. 55 is 18 and 65 is 20. 55 is 18. I think it's there. Yeah, it's there. And then 65 is 20. Okay. Now guys, again, my graph's not perfect. Because even if they wanted us to go more, guys, there's no 75s and stuff like that there. But even if they wanted us to go more, we could have went. But the best I can do is this because I'm not drawing with a pen and a ruler. Please make sure the lines are straight. It's not a curvy graph. It's point to point. You draw point to point. Okay. That's again. I'm warning you guys that my graph is not accurate, right? I don't have grid paper. It's kind of not bad, and sometimes they might even put 75 that comes down there, right? I'm just giving an example. Sometimes they could even put 75 that comes down there, but for now, we're not really worried about this. I'm saying that if there was a 75 equals to 0 or something, you would have came down there, but there is no 75. So this part, this is what our graph looks like. It's just a line graph. Use the midpoints and draw it. There's one thing missing on this graph, and the part that's missing is called the title. So you can say frequency polygon showing, and then you can say frequency versus time. Or you could say graph showing frequency versus time. Anything that you want to say, but it does work. So this one was done. Calculate the estimated mean of the given data and show how it was calculated. Now, guys, the best way to do the estimated mean for any question like this is to always do midpoint times frequency. Okay, so if you do midpoint times frequency, the rest of this is quite simple then, right? Yeah, okay, my lines are not very straight anymore. I mean, it wasn't straight at start, but anyway. I'm just trying to get it there to make it easy for you guys to understand, but this would be so much easier in person, guys. I used to do in-person lessons and I just had my board. Okay, this is midpoint times frequency. Guys, all we have to do is take the midpoint and multiply by the frequency. So it'll be 2 times 15 is 30. Okay, 2 times midpoint is 30. 5 times 25 is 125. 7 times 35 is 245. 8 times 45 is 360. 18 times 55 is 990. And 20 times 65 is 1,300. Okay. Now always add this part up and add this part here. And we should be good because 30 plus 125 plus 245 plus 360 plus 990 plus 1,300 is 3050. And then this will be 20 plus 18 plus 8 plus 7 plus 5 plus 2 is 60. No, I think I'm off somewhere. Let me double check. 20 plus 18 plus 8 plus 7 plus 5 plus 2. 1, 2. That's 20. That's 40. Okay, that's 20, 30. Yeah, I'm not incorrect. Okay, cool. So, guys, if you use a marking guideline here, most likely this is incorrect. They added wrong on that part, so just double checked it. But 2, 5, 7, 14, 14. Yeah, they added wrong, guys. So the marking guideline's not correct here, but yeah, the mean would be equal to 3050 divided by 60, and that equals to 3050 divided by 60 is 50.83. I do want to double check because very rarely is a marking guideline wrong, but let's double check. 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 plus 7 is 14, 14 plus 8 is 22, 22 plus 18 is 40 and 60, yeah. So the guideline's wrong for this one, guys. Yeah, but that's all there is to this question. We'll move on to the next paper now. Okay, guys, this would be KZN. It would be 2024 September. Generally, we're starting with the second stat question first. Seems a bit easier. We're being a bit lazy, but these values are given to you in order. Most of the time, it's not given to you in order. But for some reason, KZN was deciding to be very kind. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and there. That is quartile 2, which is the median of the data, which is 24. Now, guys, while we're at it, let's go and do quartile 1. This will be quartile 1. And it's small groups of data, so this would be quartile 3. So quartile 1 and quartile 3 is just the middle of the first half and the middle of the second half, guys. So that's all there is to this question. Now, the range of the data, I'll come back to the mean, is 49 minus 10, which equals to 39. The mean of the data is where we add everything up together. And when we do that, I think we get 38 or 387 actually over 15, which equals to 25.8. And my students got this very quickly. Now the interquartile range would be Q3 minus Q1. So even though I gave you the n+1 formulas, you guys have to decide which one to use and when to use it. Small groups of data is just easy to sketch out. Double check with the formula, but generally it's fine. Q3 should be 29, Q1 should be 17, and that equals to 12. Now guys, if they want a box and whisker diagram, did they want it accurate? They didn't want it accurate, but no, they always want it accurate, but let's try and just draw 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Okay. So this is 49. That's the max. The minimum was 10. Quartile 1 was 17. Quartile 2 was 24, somewhere there. Okay. And quartile 3 was 29, somewhere there. Right? It's just before 30, guys. Apologize. It's hard to draw, but that's all there is for this question. And that's how we would draw generally the box and whisker diagram. The next question is quite simple. The next question is quite simple. The pass mark for life science was 30%. How many learners passed? Guys, there was nothing for you to do here besides go and count who got above 30, which is you. These guys need some life science. These guys need some life science tuition. Okay, so the following life science marks were out of 50. So 30% out of 50 would be quite easy, right? Let's go and try and figure out how many percent is 30%. So out of 15, so we would go with year, right? The best way to do it is to take 50 multiplied by 30%, which should be 15, right? And then all we have to do is count how many people are above 15, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, because that person scraped past. 13 learners passed. Again, the mark is out of 50. 30% times 50 is 15 marks, and we discount how many people got 15 and above. That's all there is.